Such a sweet baby. You're such a pretty girl. Love you. You're a good girl. Well, it's been a while, but some things don't change. Lovely Miss Kenna. And her discs. You ready? Free. Free. Kenna. Good girl. Leave it. Well, it has been quite some time, and the garden is in a state of somewhat disrepair, although trugging along in some ways. This is kind of what I would call the result of a shift in priorities. I love the garden, always will. The relationship with the soil, trying to be a good steward of the environment, and this plot of land that I've acquired is something that I don't think is ever going to change, but other things change and influence where we spend our time, focus, energy. I think this is year number 5 officially of the garden, and I say the garden, but really it's more of a garden journey. Started out with just the 2 raised beds in 2017, and then expanded, as we can see here. So the original fence ran right along this little path, and then I expanded outward. Just needs a little bit of time and attention. Weeds and various things have grown up and taken over a little bit, but it's nothing that can't be manicured within some degree of time. But in reality, things have changed with my schedule and work. Primarily started a new job with a new company, and that's when honestly, priorities have shifted a bit. It's a really big change in a good way. Lots of growth, new learning, tons of just new opportunities to grow, really. Become kind of stagnant in my career over the past several years, and wasn't quite sure what to do with all the skills that I had acquired. I knew that by the time I reached 40 to 45 years of age that I would like to be in a consultant type of role. And now I'm with a new company and doing essentially just that. Learning tons of new technologies. I thought I knew quite a bit before, which I did in some areas, but the learning has expanded dramatically. So a lot of my time is spent on the computer at this point, just trying to learn as much as I can and delve into this new field of focus and line of work. So I do get out here and try to make some progress with weeding, maintaining, and improving. So we'll see. maybe this will be the start of a restoration process. The garden over the years, if you've been following for a little while, has been just unbelievable, and its ability to produce and just create this jungle-like space on the little quarter acre of a plot that we have here. So obviously there's some issues with the raised beds that need to be addressed, which were anticipated. You know, the yellow pine untreated will give you about 4 to 5 years of use. They held up fairly well. I mean, the solutions that I can put in place to take care of that are relatively inexpensive and much more longer term. I'd probably end up going with those ridged metal beds that we see all over the place nowadays. They're modular, easy to assemble, durable. So, you know, the yellow pine's a good way to start, and I don't think it'll be very difficult to install the beds around the soil that's there. So once I tear down these beds and replace them, I think that whole process will actually be good for the soil in several ways. You know, it'll give me a chance to pile on a considerable amount of compost, probably, and then get back into the alfalfa hay routine. So yeah, maybe I'll try to tackle that, add that to the list of things to do, and then document the progress. So unfortunately, right now the most appealing things to observe are the calendula that just take over this bed in a volunteer fashion, and then the blackberries, which are we had some windstorms, and this, I don't know what you call it exactly, but all of this was flowering, and I think at some point during one of many windstorms that we had, the support snapped, and this just took a lot of damage. We'd have a pretty decent amount of blackberries if it was like this all the way up and down this one growth here. That would be considerable, but the birds have been coming in and snacking, so, and that's where we're at. Got some volunteer beans here that are climbing the bench tree, and you know, the hops, they do their thing. I just haven't had good luck with them in terms of pruning and actually producing well. So this season, I don't know, I'm kind of letting it go, and we'll see what happens. I went in and did some pruning, and I'm going to take a lot of this out very soon and try to clone, and then give away or maybe sell some little hop plants. It's a lot better to start from a live plant than it is a rhizome, in my opinion, and live plants aren't always easy to find. So, you know, for those of you who have hops going, that might be a nice little side gig. All of these can just be pruned back, put them in water, and they'll send out roots, and then you can pot them up, and there you got clones. So yeah, every season. And you could probably also go through and take some rhizomes as well. I've noticed that the root structure is getting kind of out of control, so I think out of necessity I might actually need to figure out how to prune that back so it doesn't just go crazy. It wasn't always like this, but it's good to see it establish itself and look fairly healthy. Well, that's it for now. Nice to catch up and show where we're at here, kind of bring everyone up to speed on what's been going on and maybe what's to come. Take care. Peace.